Imagine this. A quiet evening settles over Buckingham Palace. The crowds outside have disappeared. The cameras are gone. The palace corridors are unusually silent. Inside his private study, King Charles III sits alone, surrounded by official documents, government papers, and years of royal responsibility. But according to several royal commentators, one concern continues to linger in the background: Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's financial future. For years, Harry and Meghan have built a new life in California after stepping away from royal duties. They signed major commercial agreements, purchased a luxurious Montecito estate, hired expensive private security, launched media projects, and promised a future built on independence. At first, everything appeared to be going exactly as planned. The headlines were enormous. The contracts were worth millions. Many believed the Sussexes had successfully created a completely new chapter outside the monarchy. But over time, the picture became far more complicated. Several projects received mixed public reactions. Business partnerships changed. Legal battles became increasingly expensive. Maintaining a celebrity lifestyle in California came with enormous financial commitments. Whether these reports accurately reflect their private finances remains unknown. However, royal commentators have repeatedly claimed that King Charles has been closely following these developments. According to those commentators, the king understands that maintaining such a lifestyle requires an extraordinary amount of money every single year. And if those income streams begin to slow, an uncomfortable question naturally follows. Where would Harry turn next? Some royal observers believe this possibility deeply concerns the king, not because he lacks compassion for his younger son, but because any financial assistance could trigger an enormous public backlash. Many taxpayers still remember the events following Harry and Meghan's departure from royal duties. The interviews, the documentaries, the memoir, the public criticism directed toward members of the royal family. For many people, those events permanently changed public opinion. That is why, according to several royal commentators, Charles faces an incredibly difficult balancing act. On one side, he is the king. On the other, he is still a father. Those two roles do not always point toward the same decision. Recent reports of a private meeting between the king and Prince Harry only added more speculation. While no official details have been released, commentators have offered different interpretations about what may have been discussed. Some believe reconciliation was the main purpose. Others argue the conversation may also have been about preventing future misunderstandings regarding financial expectations. None of these claims have been officially confirmed, but they continue to fuel debate across royal watchers. Supporters of the king argue that Charles cannot allow the monarchy to appear financially responsible for decisions made after Harry and Meghan chose to leave royal life. Critics, however, believe a father should never completely close the door on helping his son. It is a debate with no easy answer, because this is no longer simply a family disagreement. It is also a constitutional institution watched by millions around the world. Every decision carries consequences. Every meeting creates headlines. Every silence sparks new speculation. And perhaps that is the greatest challenge facing King Charles today. How does a father protect his family while also protecting the crown? As speculation continues to grow, one question remains impossible to ignore. If Prince Harry's financial pressures continue to increase, will King Charles stand firm? Or will family loyalty eventually outweigh royal duty? That question may define one of the most closely watched chapters of Charles's reign. Imagine this. When Prince Harry arrived in the United Kingdom, many people noticed something immediately. Meghan Markle wasn't by his side. For some observers, that wasn't surprising. For others, it raised even more questions than Harry's visit itself. Why would the Duchess of Sussex remain in California during such an important trip? Was it simply a personal decision? Or was there a much bigger strategy behind it? Royal commentators have offered several theories. One of the most discussed claims is that Meghan wanted to avoid becoming part of the media storm surrounding Harry's ongoing legal battles. During the visit, attention was focused almost entirely on court proceedings, security disputes, and Harry's relationship with the royal family. Every headline, every television report, every newspaper front page centered on controversy. Some commentators believe appearing beside Harry during that period could have shifted even more public attention toward Meghan herself. Instead, she remained out of the spotlight. Supporters argue it was a sensible decision. Critics believe it was carefully calculated. Of course, no official explanation has ever been given, but the timing has continued to fuel speculation. Another question frequently raised by royal watchers concerns public reaction. Would Meghan have faced criticism if she had appeared publicly in Britain? Some believe she would have encountered strong opposition outside certain events. Others argue that organized appearances with invited guests would likely have remained calm and respectful. The truth is, no one can say with certainty. Yet one thing is clear. Every decision made by Harry and Meghan is now examined from every possible angle. Whether they appear together or separately, questions inevitably follow. Meanwhile, attention has also turned to Harry's legal disputes. Court cases involving security arrangements and media organizations have become both lengthy and expensive. Legal experts have often pointed out that complex litigation can cost enormous sums of money. Those costs have only intensified speculation about the Sussexes' long-term financial commitments. This has led to another important question. If legal expenses continue to grow, could Harry eventually seek financial assistance from his father? According to several royal commentators, that possibility worries senior figures within the monarchy. Not necessarily because Charles lacks sympathy, but because any public financial support could create a political and public relations storm. Many people would ask a difficult question. If Harry and Meghan chose financial independence, should the monarchy later be expected to fund that choice? It is a question with no simple answer. Some believe family should always come first. Others argue public money and royal resources must be protected. For King Charles, the decision is far more complicated than either side admits, because every action he takes is judged not only as a father, but as a monarch. And sometimes, those two responsibilities move in completely different directions. As the debate continues, another chapter of this royal story is beginning to unfold. One that could prove even more controversial than money or legal battles, because now questions are being raised about photographs, media coverage, and whether the same standards are being applied to every member of the royal family. Imagine this. Every photograph released by the royal family is examined in extraordinary detail. Experts zoom in. Media outlets analyze every pixel. Social media users debate every shadow, every reflection, and every tiny inconsistency. But according to some royal commentators, the rules don't seem to apply equally to everyone. One of the biggest debates surrounding Harry and Meghan today isn't about interviews or documentaries. It's about the photographs they choose to release. Over the past few years, the Sussexes have shared only a limited number of images featuring their children. Whenever a new family photograph appears online, it immediately becomes the subject of intense discussion. Some viewers point to unusual lighting, others question editing choices, and some speculate that artificial intelligence or heavy digital retouching may have been used. It's important to note that none of these claims have been independently verified. No official evidence has been presented proving that the images are fake or manipulated beyond normal photo editing. Even so, the speculation continues to spread across social media and among royal commentators. Critics argue that these questions deserve the same level of scrutiny applied to every other member of the royal family. Supporters, however, say the Sussexes have every right to protect their children's privacy, and that edited family photos are common in today's digital world. The debate became even more intense after previous controversies involving royal photographs. Many people remember when an edited family picture released by Catherine, Princess of Wales, sparked worldwide headlines. Major photo agencies issued notices, and news organizations openly questioned the authenticity of the image. That incident raised an important question. If one royal photograph receives worldwide scrutiny, should every royal photograph be judged by the same standard? According to several commentators, this is where accusations of a double standard begin. Some believe Harry and Meghan receive less critical coverage from parts of the media. Others strongly disagree, arguing that the Sussexes face constant criticism regardless of what they do. Whatever the truth may be, the conversation has become much larger than a single photograph. It has evolved into a wider debate about media fairness, public trust, and accountability. Because in today's digital age, images travel faster than facts. A single photograph can shape public opinion before any verification takes place. And once speculation begins, it can be almost impossible to stop. As questions continue to circulate online, another issue is quietly emerging behind the scenes, one that touches not only on public perception, but on the future of the monarchy itself. Could the growing divide between Harry and the royal family ever be repaired? Or has the damage already become irreversible? Imagine this: 5 years. Just 5 years. In the history of the British monarchy, that is only a brief moment. But for Prince Harry and the royal family, those 5 years have completely changed everything. The relationship that once appeared strained has, according to many royal observers, become one of the deepest family divisions in modern royal history. And today, one question continues to divide commentators around the world. Is there any road back for Harry? Or has that door quietly closed forever? When Harry and Meghan stepped back from royal duties in 2020, the official message was clear. The couple wanted financial independence, they wanted privacy, and they wanted the freedom to build a life outside the institution. At the time, many believed both sides would eventually find common ground. Some even imagined that, after a short period apart, relations would gradually improve. But history unfolded very differently. In the years that followed came television interviews, documentaries, the publication of Harry's memoir, public criticism of senior royals, and a series of legal battles that kept family tensions in the headlines. Each new chapter seemed to push reconciliation a little further away. Even so, royal commentators often point out that King Charles has rarely spoken publicly about his son. Instead, Buckingham Palace has generally chosen silence over confrontation. Supporters see that silence as dignity. Critics interpret it as avoidance. Either way, it has allowed speculation to flourish. Another major issue is security. Prince Harry has repeatedly argued that he cannot safely bring his family to Britain without publicly funded protection. The issue has become central to several legal disputes. Supporters believe he is acting as a father trying to protect his wife and children. Critics argue that, after stepping away from royal duties, expecting taxpayers to fund permanent security is unrealistic. The courts have addressed aspects of these disputes, but the public debate continues at the same time. Questions about the Sussexes' future projects continue to appear. Media deals, business ventures, commercial partnerships, some have succeeded, others have received mixed reactions. That has fueled ongoing speculation about their long-term financial position, although their private finances are not publicly known. And that brings us back to the question that refuses to disappear. If circumstances became more difficult, would Harry ever ask his father for help? No one outside the family knows the answer. Some commentators believe King Charles would never allow his son to face genuine hardship. Others believe any financial assistance would create a political storm and damage public trust in the monarchy. There is no official evidence that such support is being planned. For now, it remains speculation. Then there is Prince William. Many royal commentators believe the future king is taking a much firmer approach. While Charles is often described as patient and cautious, William is frequently portrayed as determined to protect the institution above everything else. Whether that public perception is entirely accurate is impossible to know, but it has become a common theme in discussions about the future of the monarchy. Another question frequently raised is whether Harry and Meghan could ever return as working members of the royal family. Most royal experts believe that possibility is extremely unlikely under the current circumstances. Too much has happened, too much has been said, and rebuilding trust after years of public disagreement would be extraordinarily difficult. Still, history has shown that royal relationships can evolve over time. Families reconcile, circumstances change, unexpected moments reshape public opinion. No one can predict what the next decade will bring. One day, there may be another meeting behind palace walls, another private conversation, another opportunity to repair what has been broken. Or perhaps, the distance between both sides will simply become permanent. For now, the only certainty is this. The story of King Charles, Prince Harry, and Meghan Markle is far from over. Every public appearance, every official statement, every court decision, and every family meeting will continue to be watched by millions across the world. Because this is no longer just a story about one family. It is a story about duty, loyalty, forgiveness, public responsibility, and the enormous pressure that comes with living under the world's brightest spotlight. Whether history ultimately remembers this period as a temporary family conflict or as the moment that permanently changed the modern monarchy is a question only time can answer. Until then, the debate continues, the headlines keep coming, and the world keeps watching.